With the release of WoW Classic Season of Discovery Phase 2, we're back to Azeroth looking all over for those new runes. And today I wanted to put together a guide of where to get every single Phase 2 Warlock runes. There are 6 runes, and some of them are pretty hard to get, so I wanted to put it all together and make it as clear and as simple as possible, and hopefully save you time. I wasted a lot of time doing things wrong. Some things were a bit vague that I searched up that I couldn't quite find, and I made a few mistakes that hopefully I can help you avoid. And if this video helps, consider subscribing to the channel as I make a ton of guides like this. So let's go in order of the ones I'd probably do first and where to find them. So the first one I would go for would be Dance of the Wicked, the Dance of the Wicked rune. So there are multiple places that people have found this. The easiest one I found to be was the one in Thousand Needles. So if you go into Kalimdor, in the lower region, there's Thousand Needles. And then in this little alcove over here, there is a character, an NPC, called the Reckless Warden. And to do this quest, you need to be around level 30 because you need to have learned Hellfire, which is a level 30 ability. All the mobs in here are below level 30, so it's a good area to go to. Once you get here, you interact with the Reckless Warden and you receive the Brimstone Carving item. Now, all you have to do is damage yourself with Hellfire. When you damage yourself with Hellfire, there is a small chance that the carving will turn into the rune. So once it does, you just right-click the rune and learn it. This is one of the easiest runes to get in Phase 2, so it's good to get this one early at around level 30. Next up, another rune that's good to get early is the Rune of Synergy, which increases the damage between you and your pet, and it's like a permanent buff that you can always have active. So this requires you to already have the Metamorphosis rune as it is with the same NPC. So if you've done that rune, you know where you're going, but you're going into the middle of the Barrens here at the crossroads, and there's this NPC here called Razul Anda. And if you talk to this guy, he'll give you a quest called A Solid Foundation, where you have to go and find a Burra of Shadows. And to do this, he gives you a potion. And the potion is because where we're going is a very high level area, and we need to use this invisibility potion to get in. Don't worry if you lose it or if you mess up and it's gone, because I'll show you how to get there without it. So where you want to go is you want to go into Ashenvale in Kalimdor, which is just north of the Barrens, and you want to head into the very, very top right. You see this little altar looking thing in the very, very top right? That's where you're heading. So once you get here, you'll see lots of like skull or question mark level creatures because they're all crazy high level, they're all elites, and they'll one-shot you, which is why you need the potion. But if you don't have it or if you mess up, just hug the right mountain. You see this right mountain, just hug it. Just go to the mountain and just stay as close to it as you can. And if they catch you and you do get hit, then just, go swap back. And the area you're going to, as you can see here, is 9240. So hug the tree, use the potion, keep death walking back. However you get here, you click this tree and you get the Burra of Shadows, and then you might get instantly killed like me. But it doesn't matter. We're going back to the Barrens to hand this back in. And the problem is when you have this Burra of Shadows in your inventory, you will take constant shadow damage. So if you have Shadow Ward, you can keep casting that on yourself to like mitigate some of the damage. You can also use your health stones, or you can use potions or some sort of like health leech along the way. Another thing you can do is use a flight path that actually completely stops the damage. So if you can like fly down to Ratchet, that's a really good way to kind of put a hold on the damage you take. But either way, even if you constantly just keep dying and respawning and just making a little bit of progress, you just got to get back to the same place you took the quest, back to the Barrens, to 49, 57, the crossroads, this little camp, to the same guy. You want to hand this quest in and take the follow-up called a Soul Vessel. So that's the next part of the quest. And you have to buy an item called Soul Vessel. So you can either buy it off the auction house or you can have an engineer craft it for you. They can get the schematics from the Azeroth Commerce Authority or the Duratar Authority. And once you bought the Soul Vessel, you want to come here to Desolus in the very bottom of the map. The very, very bottom here in the Coven. It's 5182. It's at the very bottom of the Mana Rock Coven. So bring the Soul Vessel all the way down here. There's a lot of traveling with this quest. And you'll see this altar. There'll be a couple of guys here and a quest hand-in. So if you come over here and you hand in the Soul Vessel that you bought, it will trigger a fight with a level 40 elite. Now, if you're level 40, this isn't really that much of a hard fight. If you're below level 40, you might want to try and find a group. There'll be lots of people trying to fight this, and there was a lot of warlocks around here, but unlucky for me, it was all horde. But if there's people around here, try and group up for this. If you're level 40, it's quite easy to just fear it and just pump spells into it. You can just constantly fear chain it. So this is quite a nice fight if you're max level. But yeah, once you've done this, you just go hand it in, and you get the Rune of Synergy, and you get a unique item, a Soul Vessel, which means that a never-ending Soul Vessel. So you could cast an item and not use the soul. So say you want to summon a minion or create a stone of some sort, you don't have to use your soul shard, which is a really nice touch. But yeah, that's that rune done. Next up, the Rune of Shadowflame, which lets us do a big conal flame attack. And what you've got to do here is you've got to go to the very bottom right of Desolus. So before we ended the last rune in the middle of Desolus, and now we're going to the very bottom right of Desolus. In like this bottom right corner in 8180, I guess, there's like this little camp, and you work your way up the ramp, and at the very back of this area in the bottom right corner, there is an altar. Clear the enemies around it and click on the altar, and you will take constant shadow damage. I would recommend casting Shadow Ward before this to prevent some damage, because it does a lot of damage. And then once you've survived the initial burst of damage from the altar, it summons an elite, and you just want to burn the elite down. I would recommend grouping up for this if you can, because it's a pretty challenging fight, because you come out of the altar low health, so it's really good to have some friends here to take that initial damage so that you don't get one hit. And then yeah, just loot the body, and that's the rune done. If you've got a group here, this is a very, very fast rune to come and get done, but it's quite hard solo. I probably tried this 4 or 5 times solo and struggled really hard. Eventually just like did a general ask for help to any warlocks in the area, and a few others wanted to come get it done at the same time, which was really convenient. Now on to not Shadowflame, but Shadow and Flame, another rune. And this one is located again, it starts in Desolus. So you want to come here in Desolus to 4754 pretty much, and there's this extinguished campfire. So take this quest, Highway Robbery at the extinguished campfire, and you go hand it in the same zone, but a little further away at 6239 at the at Bibbly Bugleba. Hand the quest into him. And take the follow-up on the Lamb. So that's the next part of this chain. And this takes us out of Desolus and into Booty Bay. So this is in the very bottom of Eastern Kingdoms, and it's the port town. So if you come on the boat, or if you fly down here, you want to be going to the inn at the very bottom, the Salty Sailor Tavern in Booty Bay. And as you head in, you'll find this person here, Tokal, and you can hand in and get the next quest from Tokal, Cherry for Your Thoughts. Now to do this, you have to buy her some cherry grog. So literally go to the bartender to the right and buy the cherry grog. He's a little short, so you have to jump on the table maybe to see him, but you buy the cherry grog from him. And then just head straight back left and hand the quest back in. Very fast, the very fast quest hand in. And you want to take the next part of the chain, No Honor Among Thieves. Now this takes you again to a new zone, and you're probably seeing a pattern here. There is so much walking in these rune quests. But now we're heading to Arathi Highlands, or the area between Wetlands and Arathi Highlands. So you see there's like this little bridge gap in Arathi Highlands and Wetlands in Eastern Kalimdor. There's this little bridge gap in the two. And if you go to the very south of Arathi Highlands, kind of right of that bridge at 57.6, it's the very like bottom of this mountain here. There's a little rowboat. So yeah, if you go here, there's this little rowboat, and if you click on it, you will be teleported. And you get teleported to like this weird island on the right side of the Arathi Highlands. Big warning here. If you are solo and you're on a PvP server, there are people griefing on this island. It is brutal, but there are people griefing, and if they get you, it is very long to get back here and to respawn. So try and come with friends if you can, if you're on a PvP server. But yeah, once you're on this little island, there's some docks, and there is the person at the end of the docks to talk to, Ilari Duskfeather. Talk to them and it initiates a fight. They're not elite or anything crazy like that. It's a very simple, straightforward fight. So go and fight them. And when you beat them, they'll like do this little animation, and they'll teleport away. And when they teleport away, they will drop a bag, which you can loot, a dropped pouch. So loot this, and it drops a small key. So once you've got this key, Ilari's key, literally head left, and there is a box. So head to this little building area, the little shed area, and there's a box right in front of it. You want to go to this box, and you want to use the key on Ilari's loot cache. That completes the quest, and you hand it in, and you get Ilari's encrusted box. So you want to complete that. And then all you do is you go to your inventory and you find the box and you open it. Simple as that. Once you open it, you get the rune of Burning Darkness, and that's your next rune done. I thought this was a pretty cool one, little secret boat that takes you to a hidden island. Really nice, interesting thing. Lots of traveling though, which there seems to be a pattern in phase 2 of just traveling is a big part of these runes. And while we're in Arathi, let's go to the next one, the Invocation rune. And if you've got this far, allow me a little rant, because this is the worst rune I've ever seen implemented in Season of Discovery. I've played a lot of classes, I've got a lot of runes, but this one tops it as the worst experience I've ever had farming runes. So prepare yourself for that. So you want to go to Stromgarde Keep in the bottom left of Arathi Highlands, and you're looking for these things here, the Syndicate Conjurers. They're the things that have the Voidwalker pets, and you have to beat a lot of them. you have to soul drain their warlock. So you have to soul drain one of their Voidwalker minions for something called the Soul of the Void. This was an instant first drop for me. I got one off the first one that I soul drained. And then you need 10 pendants. So you need these things called Conjurer's Pendants, which drops off the Conjurers. Don't fight the Prowlers or the Magus. You want to fight the Conjurers. And here's the problems. One, this doesn't have a 100% drop rate, so you have to kill more than 10 to get the drop. For me, it was quite a low drop rate. It was like 1 in 3 maybe, so you've got to fight a lot of these. Problem 2 is these invisible mobs called the Prowlers will just spawn, or they'll just appear. Even with invisibility, you can't always see these, but they'll just appear as you're fighting, and then you'll have an extra elite on you. Problem 3 is this area is really popular because there's a quest here to come and fight these elites. There's also not many conjurers in the area. There's like 5 or 6 conjurers in the zone, I think, that you can fight. So you're waiting for respawns, and just hope you're not on a PvP server because yeah, this is a massive PvP hotspot, and you'll be zerged down by groups of the enemy faction probably. So please come with friends. Please allocate a lot of time for this because it took me hours. It took me. Maybe you'll get in here and you'll breeze it, but this took me hours to get done. So once you have the Soul of the Void for draining the soul of the Voidwalker, and then 10 of the Conjurer Pendants from the 10 Conjurers, you have to go to this house at 2962. It's kind of as you come in the keep, you go left, you wrap around, and it's the house at the end there. And you have to combine them. So use the item and combine them at this crystal, and it will summon the Soul Seeker, which is a lower level elite, funnily enough. Here's the fun thing. I heard that if you fight this and you die, if you say you get rushed by the enemy faction and you die, you lose them, and you have to go and farm all these things again. So please whisper warlocks in your area and try and find a friend for this because I had a terrible experience with this quest. Hopefully you have a better time than me. Hopefully you're watching this like a month into the season of discovery and this is quieter and calmer. But on release, the first few days, this was awful. So pre-warning. Next up, a rune called Demonic Knowledge. Now this is a long quest, so I would definitely recommend you wait till 40 to have your mount because there's a lot of traveling. So you want to head to Deadwind Pass, kind of down here in the middle of these two areas in the Eastern Kingdoms, and you want to go to the very top, this little hut at 5234 in the top right little, off the main path in this little hut. There's a person here called the Dalaran Agent. And this is a really cool quest because they give you an item called the Aridan's Sigil. And this sigil is when you go to anywhere on the map, there are these hidden Dark Riders. And as you go into an area where a Dark Rider is, you'll get a buff in the top right of your screen telling you that a Dark Rider is nearby. And then you can use this item to uncover the Dark Rider and fight him. And there are 7 Dark Riders across Azeroth to find and defeat. This is soloable as a warlock if you've got the Metamorphosis rune and you've got the life leech rune. If you've got those things and you can turn into the warlock, you can constantly suck the life. This is doable solo, but I would try and group up for this because it is quite hard. I try and message in general chat for people to help or find some friends or guildies, or I think when I did it, out of the 7 you have to find, I think 5 of them, there were people just waiting nearby. So I was able to just group up with the people nearby that was waiting for it waiting to fight it. So try and group up for it if you can. If not, it is possible to solo it. And yeah, once you defeat the Dark Rider and you can loot them, they drop a relic. So that each one will drop a different named relic, and there are 7 relics to find. Once you've found them all, you hand them in to the Dalaran Agent from before. Rather than just go to every single one of these places and show every single fight, they're all exactly the same. I'm just going to leave the coordinates here so you can take a screenshot, or you can these are all also online if you want to search them up, or on Discord servers. But this is where you need to go for them all and just go and fight them all in these areas. You can use an add-on like TomTom to have coordinates in the game, or the map add-ons to give you coordinates on your maps, whatever you want to do. But yeah, just head to each zone and fight the Dark Riders, and then head back to Deadwind Pass. Go back to the Dalaran Agent at 5234, and you will see that you can hand in every single one of these as a separate quest. You get 1 gold 50, I think, per quest you hand in, which is really good. And then once you've handed them all in, you get a supply bag for your service to Dalaran, and then that's where the rune is. So yeah, you open the supply bag and you get your final phase 2 Warlock Rune, and that's it. You're done. I really hope this big video with every single rune helps visually see what you've got to do for each quest, or helps lay it out in a way that maybe you can't get from a written post or something. These take quite a long time to put together, recording each step. I could have made 6 separate videos, but I wanted to have it all in one place, just one big long guide of everything for season 2 for a warlock. So I hope it helps, but I'd love to have some feedback in the comments below. Is there anything you'd want to see differently? Do you want to see different things on screen as we're going through this? Would you rather separate videos? Is this too long, too fast, too short? I'd love feedback on this because they take a long time and I want to get them as right as possible. And we've got a lot more runes coming out. I'm going to cover another class as soon as I finish this video. I'm going to start leveling another class to get that guide done. So yeah, I'd love feedback below. If this has helped, let me know as well. Subscribe for more, like the video, all that stuff. Anyway, wrap it up here. Thanks a lot. Take care, and I'll catch you in the next one.